Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. How are we all? Nice of you all to be joining us. Laurie, Shardy, Leslie, Julie, Debbie, Carolyn, Sandra. Have I missed anyone at the top? Dawn. Welcome, everybody. And Sweeter Farm, India. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's Wednesday night, special guest night. And I have been dying not only to get this topic on Dan ROX, but since I met this lovely lady, we first met at Lupton, but really connected the other week on one of her Zoom workshops that she did for Oasis. I loved her energy. She's just easy, calming, relaxing, but full of energy. So really, really looking forward to having this beautiful lady on tonight. Hope we're all well. Hope we're all ready. So she is down in the waiting room. So let's not just see my face. Let's bring on the lovely Danielle. Oh, it's a Danny and Danny show. So please give a warm welcome to Danny.
Hello.
Oh, look at us in yellow.
No, look at us synchronized yellow, Dan and Danny. I'm feeling such a yellow vibe today. There's definitely a yellow vibe going on.
There is. I've been outside in my office, my event shelter, and it's been a lovely day. I do feel like I've been out in the sun. I feel very sun-kissed. So yeah, yellow.
Yeah, I've been feeling that too. It's definitely a Sunday, and it's beautiful sunny evening here in Portishead.
Beautiful, fantastic. Well, welcome to Dan ROX Box.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Like I said in the intro, astrology isn't really something I delve completely into. I dabble into it. I know a bit about my chart and stuff like that, but I've been looking for somebody to come on and give us a little bit more information about it, and I'm so glad it's you.
Yay. I'm glad it's me too.
You're such an amazing energy. So just introduce yourself to the wonderful people out there and give a little bit about your background and what you do.
Yeah, okay. So hello everyone, I'm Danny. I'm getting used to this screen so I'm not sure where I should be looking. Can I make it a full screen on my end or not? I'm not sure. Because I've got, well, whatever, we'll just roll with it as it is. So yeah, I'm Danny.
Technical stuff. Literally my husband puts me in front of the computer, and goes.
As long as you can see me and hear me, we're all good. So yeah, I'm Danny. I'm an astrologer. I come at it from quite a unique perspective, I think, because I used to work as a therapist. So I approach it from a very psychological point of view and kind of to really help people just embrace themselves and get to know themselves on a really deep level and overcome any internal conflicts and challenges that they're experiencing, because we all have them. But I find that astrology is an amazing tool for really helping you to bring awareness to those things. And then with my knowledge and experience, I can say, hey, do you know that this is a challenge, but if you did this, it would be easier. And so I point people in the right direction with their unique soul's path. So yeah, it's a really hard thing to explain, but that's kind of an intro.
I think an interesting way of looking at that. That is really, really cool. That's So would that be like looking at their birth chart, say, see what's in there, and then go from there with, this is why you've perhaps got this, because you're going there and you've got this there, and
exactly. So when we're born, we're all kind of we have like an imprint of the planets and the position that they're in on us. So it's ingrained in us from birth that we are a particular character with a particular mission or life path, whatever you want to call it. And so by looking, but I'm basically a translator of the language of astrology. So when I do readings with people, I don't talk astrology, because you don't, if I started going, well, Mercury's doing this and Mars is doing that, you'll be like, what? It's like me talking French to you. I don't know if you speak French, but it's like me talking a different language, isn't it? So you'd be like, you'd zone out and you wouldn't understand what I was saying. So what I do, and I work really hard because it's like talking two languages at the same time, so it's a challenging thing to do, but I love it, is that I just look at the birth chart whilst talking to someone and say, okay, this is what the astrology is telling me. How is that for you? And so I open it up as a conversation to kind of help them get more in alignment with their true authentic self. Because often, because your birth chart is really a map of your greatest potential for this lifetime, whereas we all have free will, so we might be ignoring that and going against the grain, which is actually harder. I mean, there will be challenges if like we're here to learn and grow, so it's not all going to be easy just by going, oh yeah, my astrology says this, I'll do that. There's so many challenges within that, but when they're so rewarding, when you lean into them and you explore them and you embrace them, and then that leads you to greater success, happiness and joy in your life. So that's but sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, I'll get an impression of someone by looking at their birth chart, because I do a lot of preparation before I talk to someone, and then when they come on the call, I'm like, wow, you are nothing like this, and so they're like hiding their true selves, they're not being authentic. And so I go, hey, you could own this is who you really are, be more of this, and they just feel so much lighter and relieved, permission to be themselves.
That's got to be, looking at someone's birth chart, seeing it, and you think by looking at that birth chart, you've already got a picture of that person. And so to see them, and you're like, oh, where did you go off the rails? Where did the balance end with you? So that is really quite
interesting. It's like there's all sorts of reasons why people go off the track, so say, is because often we're given difficult circumstances, whether it's our family dynamics or friendships or, health problems or whatever it is, to kind of challenge us. And either we use those challenges to wake up and move towards what we are here to do, or we go off the path. So, and I've gone off the path, and that's what happened. I was very much off my path. And then, well, I don't know if you could say I was off my path. I think I wasn't. It was a timing thing, and that's another big thing with astrology, is certain parts of your chart are activated at different times in your life. So I'm a late bloomer, so I was never going to be an astrologer when I was 20 years old. It was meant for now, so I had to do all this groundwork and work as a therapist for a long time so that I could gather those skills to bring to the world of astrology, which is a unique take on it, So I was doing that foundation work, and then when I had an astrology reading for myself, that was when all my light bulb moments went off, and I was like, oh wow, I'm really woo-woo, and I've got to just go for it. So I went and studied astrology, and I just absolutely love it.
I mean, I think if I was into crystals, astrology would be my second choice. But having crystals and that array of knowledge that comes with that, I don't think I would do astrology any justice because you can't just dabble in it. You can't read a book and go, right.
No, you really can.
It's a big, vast, it's the universe. I mean, it's,
it's mega. It's a huge topic, and I'm literally learning more and more every single day, and I will be learning for the rest of my life. So I don't claim to be the all-seeing, all-knowing, but I have enough knowledge to help people with, and I'm constantly acquiring more and getting better and honing my skills. But like you said, I would love to learn more about crystals, but we're going to combine our superpowers, aren't we? So that we don't have to learn the whole subject. You can teach me about crystals, I'll teach you about astrology.
we are thinking, but definitely we're going to be planning a workshop together, because I love this energy. I mean, it might be an all-dayer, because I don't know,
Yeah.
like, when we'll stop talking to actually do the work. There'll be plenty of breaks, but it's got to be done. And absolutely, crystals fall in so well with astrology and vice versa. It's and yeah, why try and cover two areas when we can put two heads together? And
exactly. And that's the beauty of it, because like I was like I was manifesting this crystal knowledge to combine with my astrology to like enhance what I already know. And then I had a conversation with you, and you were in a similar situation of saying, I want to learn more about astrology and crystals. So there we are.
That's it. That is amazing. Just going back to the birth chart, because we have the sun sign, which most of us know. We read these in the papers. We also have the moon sign.
Yes.
And then we have the ascending sign.
Yes, that's right.
My three, I'm a Pisces, Cancerian.
I know, all water.
Am I doomed?
You're super sensitive and psychic and intuitive. You're not doomed, but
don't tell my hubby that. Don't tell my hubby that. You're going to
need those crystals to protect your energy, because you're such a psychic sponge. You pick up on everything. You feel everything in your body.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so the sun sign is your outer sort of expression of yourself, your ego, your personality, your kind of shiny self that you're happy to put out in the world. The moon sign is more your inner world, your emotional body, your kind of instinctual reactions to things when triggered. And then the rising sign, that ascendant sign, is I've coined a new term for it. I call it the soul sign, because that's what your soul wants you to rise up into in this lifetime. Like that. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Yeah. So am I kind of like, what you see is what you get, being so my sun and my moon are both Pisceans?
No, because I just had another little quick glance at your chart. So I haven't properly looked at it, because we were going to do something more general today. But your sun and moon sit in different houses. So you get the signs, houses, and the planets. So each of those things flavor it all differently. So if you think of yourself as a delicious meal, you're a sprinkle of this, a dash of that. You know, you might be a quick fry, or you might be a slow cook. There's so many different variables that create the unique recipe that is Dan. Like, and it takes a long time for me to explain who you are through the eyes of astrology, you know. So it is a process, and it's conversation as well. So I have to speak to you about it and ask you questions to say, you know, because again, that free will element of it is, I would say, oh, okay, so this is what it's telling me. How is that for you? And, you know, can you give me examples of that? And then I can start to sort of weave my way through explaining and figuring out what the key points are that you need to know about yourself, because I like to make it really practical, so that you have something that you can immediately apply to your life, you know, practical action. So I might say, right, you need to go for a run. You need to get your fire started, and you need to go for a run, you know. So there might be, I might say that, or I might say to someone, you know, you need to start journaling and start writing down your thoughts, because you have a lot of, you know, thoughts. So it's different for everyone, and it just depends on, because it's all about creating the balance, because you have a lot of water. There may be another element that needs your attention, because water comes so naturally to you, it probably doesn't need your attention. You know, that's easy. So we got to look for the one that's hard for you and go, right, here's your challenge. Let's look at that.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see, we've put your link up for Facebook.
Okay.
www.facebook.com, My Spiritual Pursuits.
Yeah.
So is this the place for people to get to you to do readings? Because I take it, with the scenario everyone is in, are you able to do online readings?
I only ever do it online, because I like to work because it works perfectly, because I need to be able to view your chart whilst talking to you. I don't let you see the chart because it doesn't mean anything to you. You're like, oh, a load of numbers and symbols and lines. What was, you know, it's like looking at, you know, a piece of abstract artwork. You just don't understand it. But so I pull up your chart, I have you there, and then I record the session for you so that you can then have it as a keepsake to refer back to as and when you need to or want to, because there's so many aha moments within the reading that you'll be like, oh, what was it she said about that? Or it might be that you're not ready to hear a certain part of what I'm telling you, and you're like, yeah, whatever, that's not true. And then later on down the line, you'll be like, okay, I get what she means now. The pennies start dropping. So yeah, so it works really well that I just do it online, and then I can cast my audience far and wide and work from home, which is lovely.
I'm just going to put also got.
So yeah, it's on my website. So the at My Spiritual Pursuits is kind of like my social media. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I've got quite a few YouTube videos about astrology, and I'll probably add more to those coming up. But I lost my mojo for that for a bit. But I feel like it's on hold for now. But I'll be back into making more YouTube videos soon. And so
your website is just now. Danielle Collins.
And then there's lots more information on there, but if you do want to book with me, then there's a book now button. It takes you through to my booking system, which I've recently set up. I'm very pleased with. I'm rubbish with admin, so I'm like, oh, just book yourself in.
Yeah, and I just need to remember to be here at that time, that place.
Yeah. I'll get to do the fun stuff then, talk about astrology.
Yeah, I need a PA. I am terrible.
Yeah, so, well, that was my version of a PA, just a booking system. So I highly recommend it.
Oh, you don't need to recommend yourself, sweetheart, because Anna Smith. I totally recommend an astrology reading with Danielle. I had one about 2 weeks ago. It was so rewarding for me personally.
Oh, Anna, I love you. Thank you. That was a really special reading. Yeah, every reading I have is so unique and so different and so heartwarming. It's just amazing, honestly.
Yeah, Shadi. This is fascinating. I find astrology so interesting, but haven't heard about using the chart to improve your life in this way before. Love it.
It's madness. I'm like, why is anybody talking about bloody Mercury retrograde all the time? That doesn't matter. What matters is your own natal chart. It doesn't matter. Like, let me explain this, right? So many astrologers just talk about general astrology, and then it makes people think that astrology is stereotyping, but it's not. It's the most specific personality test you could ever take, because it's literally like a timestamp of you at that location at that time, and all of the energies of the planets imprinted on you. So it's so accurate. I mean, I do readings for total strangers, and I get it. I nail it every single time. They're like, "Are you psychic?" I was like, "Yeah, I am a bit psychic, but I don't always, you know, like that's another one of mine." But this is like, I'm reading the astrology to them and I'm translating the language. So there's astrologers that talk generally about, oh, Saturn's going direct and this is happening and this, and sometimes I watch these because I follow a lot of astrologers because I'm in that world, and I'm an astrologer. I speak the language and I'm so confused. I'm like, so who am I? What am I doing this week? This just like is so complicated. I just think, just keep it simple. Like, we've really, the planets are always moving. What doesn't change is your natal chart. And you need an astrologer to say, because as the planets move, they affect each person in a different way because they're hitting your unique chart in a specific part. So you can't generalize. It's all a load of rubbish, if you ask me. Like, you know, some people like that, and I'm sure it does appeal to some people and people get something from it. But for me, I'm not going to keep, because if I had to update everyone on what's happening in astrology every day, I'd literally be making videos 24/7 because and that's not what I'm about. I'm just like, I'd rather spend my time working one-to-one with people, or in this, like, you know, in a bigger audience to explain how astrology can help people. So yeah, I just think that I'm here to bring a very different take on astrology, and I'm excited to be having an audience to do it with.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like with what Shadi said, you know, I've never heard of using the chart to improve your life, but as soon as you said it, it's just sort of like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
soon
It's
as
like,
someone said it
oh
to
my
you,
God,
you're
it's
like,
the world's best kept secret. It's like, hello.
of course.
Like, I'm now a therapist with a cheat sheet because I know exactly what your problems are and how to fix you. Not that I'm fixing you, but how to help you help you.
Yep.
You know? So it's just like I worked so hard. You know, what I do now in one session with someone, I would have taken me 20 sessions when I was working as a therapist before. And now I'm like, I'll get straight to what you need to know in one session. It's so powerful.
That is amazing. And I love the fact that you squat Mercury retrogrades and all that, because it's something. I mean, I said at the start, I don't pretend, but when they go on about, you know, it's like, Jesus Christ, every other day it's a retrograde. Like,
Yeah, one
let's just
planet goes retrograde and another goes direct, so they're always doing something, so it doesn't matter, whatever.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. And I think Shadi, I'm so glad it's not just me when they start stating what's
Trines, squares, and they talk the language, but you don't speak the language, so it doesn't help you. So you need to be able to edit out that information and just say, hey, oh, there's a bit of tension here between this and that. Instead of saying this is squaring this, you just make it into like into something that you're going to understand, not that I need to understand.
Yeah. Got another little comment here from Hillary.
Yeah.
And it might be nice for you to link in with Hillary, because I think she does a workshop, Crystals for Planets.
Oh.
She'll correct me if I'm wrong, but she says, I love your take on it. Mercury retrograde never affects me negatively, and I hate hearing people blame Mercury for things they can't do. Exactly. When these astrologists drop a few astrology words to make out that they know what they're on about, it's almost like, just blame it on this. Don't look at yourself on how you can improve it. Just blame it on that. It's fine. We've got something to blame it on rather than ourselves.
It's like, take responsibility for yourself, because the planets moving is like the weather, but how it affects you is how you dress yourself, you know? So if you take care of what you're wearing and who you are, then it doesn't matter what the weather's doing. And each, like a Mercury retrograde to someone, you know, you might have been born during a Mercury retrograde, so it's totally natural for you. You know? And Mercury might be your like strongest planet within your birth chart, so that's going to affect you differently. Or it might be a really challenging planet in your birth chart, so it's going to be different again. But it really doesn't matter, because it happens 3 times a year, so it's doing it all the time, you know, for 3 to 6 weeks at a time. And it's only ever what you do with it. And I find if you're sensitive and intuitive, you don't need an astrologer to tell you, hey, it's time to slow down and reflect, you know, because you generally know, oh, it doesn't feel like a time that I need to move forward and make, you know, there are natural pauses with the astrology. So a retrograde just means time to reflect and review what you've already done instead of moving forward. And if you're intuitive, you feel it anyway, and you know, okay, I'm just gonna pause and stop and take a breather. So yeah, there we are. It's my ruling planet. I love that it's not constant. Mercury moves fast. It's always moving. So it's
And we've got the lovely hello, sweetheart. I hate it when everyone blames Mercury retrograde. There is so much in any topic in the spiritual world. There is so much BS out there and you know, as long as they know a few professional words in their trade, that they think that they can pop them in, let people think, oh, they know a big word, they must know their thing, and go on blah blah blah. But
and that's what I don't want to do. Like sometimes I was doing a few little updates. Generally, if I ever do an update, it's like, oh, we've moved into Virgo season, which is where we're at the moment. And so that's like, you know, you do notice it. Like Leo season's more fun, and Virgo season you want to work more and you want to get stuff done and you want to organize stuff. So those sort of shifts we naturally feel anyway, and sometimes I make videos about it and sometimes I don't. It just depends on if I'm inspired, if I'm guided to do it, I'll do it. But generally I just like helping people with their own unique astrology. That's my passion, so that's what I'm trying to remain true to and not get caught up in, oh, I'm an astrologer, I should be talking about Mercury retrograde. I don't want to.
No, leave that for the Meg.
Yeah, exactly. And those magazines, it's like, you can't generalize. I read them and I'm like, no. And I don't even know where you got that from. Like,
that's one thing that used to make me laugh when I was a kid, was my mom always reading her stars. And for some reason, at a young age, it was in me that I would be reading and thinking, so every Piscean.
yeah, but that's what gives astrology a bad rep. When people are doing that and making it out like they can tell every Leo that they're going to be experiencing this week in this way, because it's just not the case.
No, absolutely. I will just say to people, if you've got any questions on astrology, please do get them in there and we will fire them at Danielle. And also, with Jan coming on, you did do a little bit on Oasis last time, but you are back on this time in October, at the beginning of October.
Yeah, so I did last time. I did a workshop around the moon signs, and that was kind of looking at how you can soothe yourself and self-nurture yourself when you're emotionally triggered. So again, I just wanted to make it super practical and tell people how to handle their emotions. And so next time around, I'm doing a 2-part series, so one on the Saturday and one on the Sunday. Woohoo! So I'm going to be looking at the elements, the 4 elements, so fire, air, and then earth and water. And so that's going to be really interesting, because you won't even need your astrology chart for that one. I'm coming at it from an astrology angle, but you won't need the astrology chart, because I'm just going to speak to each of the elements and you will know which ones are easy and which ones are hard. So if you tune into both workshops, you'll have your homework ready for you by the end of it, and you'll know what you need to do to bring more balance into your life, which is a total game changer when you really just give the attention to what needs your attention. It's like, you say if you have like 4 wheels of a car, as the 4 elements, and if one of those tires or 2 of those tires are flat, then you can't move forward. So it's about pumping up the tires that are flat or not as strong to get that forward momentum in life.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like an analogy. I love a metaphor.
Absolutely. I like this question. Because again, I know somebody, I think it was on one of my lives, somebody said that they didn't know what they were. They keep getting told that they're one or the other because of their date. And sometimes, depending on what material you're reading from, they could put you in one sign to another.
Yeah.
So what do you think about births on the cusp?
So generally, I just use astro.com. I put in the information that I've been given and whichever one it falls into. So even if it's 0 degrees, but it's in Pisces, it's Pisces. But generally, because like my mum is on the cusp, and you can generally access both energies quite easily. So you can flip between the two. So it's quite a nice thing, but there might be one that's depending again on what the rest of the chart is saying. So if one's in Aries and one's in Pisces, if it could be either Aries or Pisces. So if you have a lot of fire in your chart, you might feel more like Aries. Whereas if you have more water in your chart like yours, you'll probably resonate with the Pisces more so. Does that answer that question?
I think so.
But again, it's always a conversation that I have with my clients. It's like, okay, so I'll explain like, these are the qualities. How do you relate to that, or do you relate to this? So it's all about the personal experience of the person that I'm working with.
Fantastic. Miss Moody, her hubby, Mr. Kim, would want to know, what are the ascendants?
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about just now, about the soul sign. So it's like whatever is on the ascendant is what your soul is rising up into in this lifetime. So it wants you to move towards it. So generally, as children, we're very good at our rising sign. We naturally do our rising sign, that ascendant sign. And then something happens and we start to shut it down a bit. And then we want to just hide away from it and not look at it. And then eventually, when we grow up, we tend to want to move more back towards that ascendant sign. So it's an evolution type thing.
Nice.
That question?
Jan, she doesn't know her time of birth. It's a matter of about 6 hours. How do you do a chart in that situation?
So your body knows what time you were born, and you can go and see a kinesiologist who can do a muscle test on you to find out the exact time of birth, which is amazing. Or you could try dowsing on it as well, dowsing.
That's what I was just about to suggest, because I know there was a lady on, I think it was Oasis, the same weekend as you. She was in the Dominican Republic, and she got us all to douse our time of birth by taking it section by section.
Yeah, exactly. Narrowing it down. Most people know, oh, it might have been the afternoon, or it might have been the evening. So you generally know a sort of a rough time period, and then you start. Yeah. But I've done it because my dad didn't know what time he was born, and I'm trained in kinesiology, so I'm trained in so many different things. I like learning, so I learn everything. But so I was muscle testing him, and it was to the exact minute and I was like, wow, that's it. Yeah.
I want to see this done.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I don't know, under a pressurized situation, I don't know how if a body was anxious, I don't think you get accurate tests. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit rusty with the kinesiology anyway. I wouldn't say that was a couple of years ago I trained in that. And so it's just like something that I know a bit about that I use when I need to.
That is brilliant. And also, Jan, the fact that you know about the 6 hours, dowsing and taking it down and see whereabouts you go.
It's worth finding out though, because the more accurate the birth time, the more accurate the reading, and 10 minutes can make a difference. Yeah.
And the lovely Anna. And I've always wanted to know this about the different colour lines.
Good question. So you get mainly red or blue lines. There's sometimes green, but that's pretty more advanced, so we won't worry about that. So red or blue. Okay, so blue is good, easy, and red is difficult, challenging. My chart's full of red, so that's why I had to learn astrology. And but the thing is, if you've got only blue lines, you're not motivated to make any changes. So like you might wish for a blue chart, but actually, because I did a reading yesterday, and I was like, wow, this is an easy chart when I first looked at it, but on closer inspection there were tensions, but different types of tensions. So it's all to do with the angles of oh god, don't make me start talking about maths, but it's all to do with the degrees of like where the planets sit next to each other and 90-degree angles and all sorts. So it gets very complicated, but the short answer is red lines bad, blue lines good.
Brilliant. And for those people who do know their time of date, whatnot, they can look up their own birth chart.
Yeah.
To find out their red.
Yeah, and they can pick it apart themselves. Like I explored my own chart for ages before I even went for a reading, because there are good books out there, and you can also, I've got a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, so you can, look up, oh, what does that planet mean, and where's my planet, what sign is it in, and what house is it in. So you can do your own homework. If you really love astrology, you can learn stuff, but there's certain things that only an astrologer will pick up on. So something could trump. You could pick it all apart piece by piece, but unless you can look at the full picture, you might miss something very significant. So, but it's all good,
So a bit like Caroline. she's there with too much red in her chart, but there might be something in the blue lines maybe that's going like, well, it might look hard, but this one being blue will give you
will soften all this and it will make it easier. And then I'm sure there's a reason why she's been given all that red, because it's, sometimes it can be a karmic thing, and sometimes it can just be that you're here to really grow and evolve this lifetime, really make some changes.
It is brilliant, and it's so fascinating. I mean, you said you studied your birth chart. When I saw mine, I think like most people, it is just symbols and these lines, and you're like, what is all this? And then we've got nodes. We've got a north and a south.
Yeah, that's pretty advanced astrology. That's like that's kind of like your, again, a very deep soul level kind of for people that really want to push themselves in this lifetime. You lean in towards your north node. The south node is something that you come into this lifetime with, and you find it super easy and natural. But the north node is where you need to go towards for the most growth. But again, you could have your north node could be sat with a load of other planets, so it makes it easier, or it could be sat in a place where it's harder. So there's so many different factors to take into account with this, and some people aren't ready for that information yet. There's something else that needs to be addressed before you talk about the north node. So there's layers. There's so many layers to it.
I love it. I'm going to be looking at mine again after today and going like, right, let's try and make something. Anna Smith just replied back to answering her question. Thank you. It makes sense. Dominant red lines.
Yeah, it's all good. I've got loads of them, and I'm all right. It's just a constant battle, internal battle, like a ping pong game. Like, oh, I want to do this. No, I want to do that. No, I want to do this. No, I want to do that. You waste so much energy bouncing around it until you just go, oh, well, this is, you accept it, you just embrace it as like part and parcel of who you are.
Absolutely. So Shadi, it's really interesting because I've been doing the picking apart, but I wouldn't know how to apply it to life other than saying, yes, that resonates for me. I think she needs to
Shadi, come and have a chat with me. I'll sort you out.
I think she needs to book in.
Yeah, I'll give you some good insight.
Love.
Yeah, I love
pour
it.
Your own coffee.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's just like, it's such a gift to yourself to just go, actually, I really want to find out who I am and what my potential is, and just like really, it's such a confidence boost. It just makes you appreciate, because there's so many, everyone is so beautifully unique. There's no two charts the same. I've never seen anything similar or the same. And so you when you really kind of highlight that for someone, their uniqueness and how special they are, it's all the stuff that they take for granted, because they're like, oh, it comes so easily to me, then that's not special. But it's like, yes, it is. That's super special. And you need to be using those gifts. So yeah.
This one, my birth chart looks like the universe was hiding in a corner when I was born. I don't know. She's a good friend of mine, and she sent me a picture of it.
Is it all in one section?
Earlier.
Like planets in one section?
I'll see if the camera will pick it up from my phone.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Look at me trying to operate a phone live on Damn Right.
I'm going to have some water.
Yeah, it might take a while. So I don't know if you can. I don't know if.
Oh, it's on a different. I can't see anything. Oh, is it all kind of? I can't.
It's all there. Oh,
is that the a lot of Sagittarius? I can't really tell which side of the chart that is. Is that the rising side, or is that the ascendant or descendant? Can you tell?
No,
I
don't. Virgo's at the top, Pisces at the bottom. No,
I can't see it. It just looks like a big circle, I'm afraid. But yeah, certain people. Oh, yeah, I can't tell, because like with when you're on video, whether it's been flipped to the other side. So I can't make a comment on that unless I know which side it's on.
So yeah, she says all Sagittarius.
But that's a big theme, like, and that's a good one because you've noticed it, and that's it. You can spot your own themes. Even, you know, you don't have to be an astrologer to go, oh wow, this part of my chart's really jumping out at me. So do that, and then read about that bit of your chart, because you'll intuitively be guided to the planet that needs your attention at the moment, or the line that is causing you a problem. So, you know, there's different ways. I read astrology charts a bit like I do tarot as well. It's like, it speaks to me.
Jumps out and grabs.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Not that one. Tara Bird. Hello, sweetheart. Is there a website you would recommend to start with?
Website. I mean, astro.com's got quite a lot of information on there. Might be a bit advanced. I've got a book. Hang on, let me grab it. It's literally over here. This is a book that I would recommend, which is a really good opener. You Were Born for This? Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance. So it's a similar approach to the way that I do things. She uses a different house system to me, because there's different types of astrology as well. You know, there's Western and Vedic and different house systems. So she does it slightly different to me, but this is a good beginner book. Website's astro.com, but that might not make a lot of sense to you unless you speak astrology. What else would I recommend? It's quite hard to find something that makes it simple because it's complex, but I'd say start with that if you wanted to go for it.
Good choice. I'll have a look for that. Oh, Leslie Patricia Cohen. With twins or triplets, do the minutes between each birth make a lot of difference?
Not a huge amount. There would be a subtle difference, and it depends on the time, because it could be that it's a different rising sign, which would make a very different situation, or if it's the same rising sign, then wouldn't be as impactful. But the thing is with twins and triplets, I've never actually done readings for them, but I'd be interested to. But apparently, from what I've learned through my course and everything, is that they will have very similar charts, but because they are souls that have had different past lives, they come into this life with different experiences, and so they activate their charts in different ways. And there's so many different interpretations of, you know, because you might have a natural ability to be creative in this lifetime, you know, but then creativity is so broad, you could apply that to so many different areas of your life and have different interests. So each person's and the free will thing as well, you know. So one twin might go, oh yeah, I'm up for this, I'm going to do it the way that, you know, is, you know, set out for me, and another one might be like, no, I'm not, I'm going to just go my own way. So it's so complex. It's I'd like to learn more about that and have a look at some twin charts and stuff like that.
If we know any twins, pass them over to Danielle. Let her examine their charts. That would be quite
it. Like, I love the psychology of it all. I'm like a detective. I'm like trying to figure out, spot patterns all the time. So the more I do it, the more I learn.
Well, but that is it, and it's the foundation of being good and specialized in what you're passionate about, is that fine-tooth combing. Oh, okay, how's this? And going deeper rather than just go, oh yeah, that's just, you know, it's so many mass over things. Whereas if you go in deeper, then you get to, you know, come on here and go, right, ask me a question, which is quite daunting to be like, I'm an astrology, someone asked me a question, because you have no idea what someone is going to ask you, and you're going to be like, okay. But, you know, when you fine tooth comb things, it's great. So
yeah, and it's always interesting to hear, because like when you're in, you know it too, like, you know so much about crystals that you, like, we talked about this briefly, didn't we, when we had our pre-chat, but like you know so much about the subject that you forget what it's like to have a beginner's mind again and not know anything about it. And you're like, oh yeah, of course you want to know what those lines mean. And like, because I've been looking at those lines for so long, it's not something that I think about anymore. But it's nice to hear what type of questions come up so that I could do more workshops in the future and make it, you know, maybe to simplify it. I think that's what I'm always about, is just simplifying it and making it really practical.
That is it. I just came back from doing the workshop Sunday online, which was a basic course. And absolutely, for me, I was just thinking, oh my God, this just seems not enough.
Yeah.
But they loved it.
Yeah, exactly. Less is more. Less is more.
Yeah. So many of them learned more there than they have done reading books or online. So it is just start off simple and then progress. Don't go into the deep end. You know, tread the water first. We've got some.
Exactly. That's why I'm like going back to the elements. So I started with the moon sign, and I think actually maybe I dived in too quick. So I was like, okay, let's go back another few steps and start with the elements.
Absolutely. So she has twins.
Oh, they have twins. Wow.
The same rising sign, but their personalities are quite different. Whereas me and my twin, I think we have just little differences. Oh, so she is a twin. So Caroline, Caroline, I know her sister is Angela, who also comes onto Downbox. So are you two twins? Because we did see them for the first time on Oasis the other Wednesday when Marlene Stone did a reading night, and me and my husband were like, well, they look really similar. You could tell that they were sisters, but they might be twins. So you might have
there we are. My first case study.
Yeah. Put that bait on that hook, sweetheart.
There we are. Ask and the universe gives.
And Anna, I have twins that were born either side of midnight, who were born 16 minutes apart. I've printed their charts but haven't looked at them yet.
That's interesting. 16 minutes could make a difference. I'd need to have a look at the actual charts to see what's going on there. But yeah, it's super interesting, that.
And yeah, Sweet Patel is in India. So do you follow the horoscopes?
I'm basically an astrologer that doesn't like talking about astrology. Because I don't talk about astrology. I talk about the psychology, and like the astrology is just the way that I get to the psychology. So it's, you know, I mean, I love the planets, I love the signs, I love all of it, and so I am immersed constantly in the world of astrology. But I don't think these generalized horoscopes are the way to go.
No. Do you? I bet when you say, "Oh, I'm an astrologer," how many people turn around to you and go, "What's my sign?"
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, so what's going?" You know, and like everyone thinks that you know everything about them just because their sun signs in, you know, Taurus. Like, yeah, okay, I could make some assumptions about that, but you could have something that makes, because there's so many people that I talk to and do astrology readings for, where you know, again, I did another reading yesterday, Capricorn Sun. He was more of a Pisces. And I said, do you feel like a Capricorn? He's like, no, not really. And he didn't even want the reading. Like, it was a gift. And so I was like, yeah, I wasn't sure, like, if this would be your sort of cup of tea. But then as we talked, it just evolved, and there was such an amazing conversation that came out of it. And now, you know, you can't help but be a believer in it all once you've had a reading, I tell you.
It sounds amazing. And that is it, because I know even like sometimes, I mean, I've always worked in bars, and like when people know about my spooky do kind of side of things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Piscean, and that, oh, what star sign am I? And I'm just like, I only know mine, doesn't mean no everybody else.
And I don't even remember the dates, like, because I just put your information into a software thing, and then it shows me a chart, and I read that. I don't. I don't know, certain information. I'm not great at remembering dates and facts and stuff like that. Like I learn about the planets and like how far they are away from the sun, and it interests me for 5 minutes, and then it's in one ear, out the other, and I'm like, oh damn, because I'm not using that information. It's not really relevant for what I do. Just because I love the planets doesn't mean I know everything about them. It's just, you know. Yeah, I think I need to. I think I'm getting pushed to do more teaching and like maybe group work. So we get together like a small group. Yeah, thank you, Dan. I get it. I'm taking. Maybe I could start with you, and then I'll build up my own little sideline. Yeah, workshops. I had loads of workshops planned just before lockdown, and then lockdown happened, and I was like, oh, and I haven't really felt like doing them online. But I think online is just the new way to go, and I've got better at using Zoom now and stuff. So I think what I'll do is start putting out courses where they're like, you know, quite small, intimate courses, so I can actually look at each person's chart and sort of speak to it. Because again, if I were talking about something, but there's something else affecting it, then I need to be able to speak about that. So yeah, I noted, Sandra. I will. I'm moving house on Friday. I'm moving flats on Friday. So once I'm settled in my new flat, I feel like that's going to be a new chapter to start doing more stuff.
Yeah. Once we come together, then we can give you the push to fly those wings on your own.
Universe is definitely wanting to put me in front of bigger audiences and constantly giving me opportunities to collaborate at the moment. I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, the world needs astrology. Okay.
Well, not just that, but true improvements.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean,
guidance. It's like spiritual guidance, like properly tailored to who you are. Yeah.
That's it. Because, you know, going back over it again with so many people out there, they're like, oh, a typical Pisces, or oh, a typical. Whereas, you know, with you and what I've just seen tonight, we could look at this chart and you can give me guidance and let me know where I'm at. And I think a lot of people, especially what we're just going through, a lot of people need that guidance.
Yes. And this is where there's a timing thing. It's definitely been like people just needed to cope and survive for a bit. But now I think people are more wanting guidance and direction. And that's exactly what astrology can do. So if you're looking to change careers, or there's relationship, you know, because I do relationship astrology as well, which is a whole nother kind of facet to astrology, is like the way that your chart interacts with another person's chart, and it creates a whole new chart, and it's just so fascinating.
Because some people would have lost their way and would be so blinded. So to go, right, let's go back to the start. This is where this is where you were born, and just give them that focus of, yes, this is what I was doing before all this happened. Yeah. This is so absolutely brilliant. So yeah, Caroline and Angela, they are identical.
Wow, interesting.
So, yes, they are, and they are fabulous. I think they're fabulous too. I only see them on here. I'm yet to see them in the flesh, but I like their energies. They're great.
This is another thing that I get asked about a lot. This the 13th sign, Fucus. It's not relevant to Western astrology because it's a closed system of 12 signs. Everything needs to be divided by 4 or by 3, so you can't chuck in another sign. It just doesn't work. And if you look at what they're saying about this sign, it's just a combination of Scorpio and Sagittarius mashed together, so it's not adding anything new to the story. I think it's more relevant for I'm just watching the most beautiful sunset from my bedroom. Love it.
I was just about to say, I can see the sort of setting on your face. It's amazing.
I wonder if I can show you. Should I turn it around?
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh.
You see it?
That's going into retrograde.
Yeah, that's fun. So so it's not actually new. It's something they talk about every few years and they hash it out like it's something new, but it's not. It's something really old that people already know about. And Yeah, it's just a new constellation, but there are 88, but Western astrology is only based on 12, and so it doesn't really do anything. So there's nothing to worry about. You're not anything different.
Yeah. So basically, somebody who is on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Not really. It's kind of just
Nonsense.
Yeah. Not even what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Brilliant. Laurie from America. You would be so
thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Word. You are. It just comes natural, and you have such a great way of coming across.
Thank you.
Again, simple, easy, and engaging, keeping me really like you're interesting. So
yeah.
You would be
if
really
it's
good.
not, I'm a Leo. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it. So I like to keep it fun and entertaining. So
Are you a Leo?
I am. Sunny.
You see, I'm going to be so predictable here, but I've never had good results with. My mum was a Leo, and we always found. Oh God! I mean, when we argued, the whole street would evacuate. She would literally turn my water to petrol. There was no calming us down. It's like, when we clashed, Jesus, you know.
Then that's the synastry of because that's synastry is about the relationship chart. So it could have been that there's a certain dynamic between you and your mum that, if understood, you could have brought a lot of compassion to it, because certain things get aggravated by other people, and certain things like our chemistry feels really good and easy, doesn't it? And it doesn't mean that this is a Leo Pisces thing. It's there's so many other influences interacting together. So I haven't looked at our charts actually, but I will take a look at how they work together. But so some people really just kind of, I don't know, some people I come together with and they boost up my fire and I'm even more energized, and some people dampen down my fire, and so, or some people just push my buttons and I'm like, you know, and so there's always the reason for it astrologically. But you can't change that, but you can work with it instead of against it.
Yeah, and that's I mean, if we were calm, we loved each other, and we were, you know, I was a proper mummy's boy and like that. But then when, you know, if the sparks flew, Jesus, you know, her claws were out, my tail was out. Yeah, great times, bless her. Laurie, again from America, how do you do readings? Do you record them and send an audio file, or more like a video chat or Zoom meeting?
So I do it as a live Zoom meeting that we record. So you get the recording after, you can download that recording. But I do it as an interactive live Zoom chat, and there's different slots available throughout the week on my website.
Lush.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Hillary's just saying, isn't the 13th sign based on a very ancient Eastern calendar?
I don't know that much about it, to be honest, Hillary. I'm sorry, but I know it doesn't affect the type of astrology that I do. So that's the best answer I can give you.
And that's interesting about interacting charts. Always wondered why my mum and I wind each other up.
Yeah. Well, family, you know, we choose our family. Like, they are the ones that are going to teach us our hardest lessons. So generally, we do have a lot of triggers within the family dynamics. That's normal. But also, I've looked at all my family's charts. Obviously, I'm just like, why is that? Why do you always do that? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And so now I can see it. It softens me towards my family, because I can just have so much more empathy and compassion for them. Because I think, you really can't help that. It annoys me, but I just have to accept that by you, you know. And so it just brings another level of understanding to people's quirks.
And keeping it on the relationships, do you ask on a date, do you turn around and say, what's your star sign?
Before I go on a date, I'm like, to apply for a date, please send me your date. No, I don't. I'm so tempted though. Like the other day, I went on my first date for a while, and I was like, I'm really tempted to look at your astrology chart. It's like, yeah, go for it. And then as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, Capricorn Moon. No, we're not going to get on. One day I want to set up a dating app or something that's based on astrology, because that would be the easiest way to do compatibility. But that would take a lot of hard work in figuring it out. But like, I was just, yeah, I could make a lot of assumptions about this person before I did meet up with them, because I was trying to be open-minded, but it was exactly how I thought it was going to be, because I've seen his chart, and so, you know.
That is hilarious. That is brilliant. You got to use it for all your, you know, games, haven't you?
It's also like spoiling the surprise a little bit. I was like, oh, because then you don't have like the natural getting to know someone, because you can see everything about them by looking at their astrology chart. And so I was like,
yeah, but
do I do it or not?
You could really use and abuse that advantage, because if you knew you weren't going to get on, you could suggest going at somewhere really expensive and luxurious and be like, yeah, we're not going to get on, but thanks for the expensive day out. And if, you know, you thought that they were, you know, oh, we look like we're going to get on, then it's like, treat me.
Yeah. And then it's difficult now, yeah, because it's a good skill to have, but it's like, when do you use it when you're dating? Like, I'm still working that one out.
Oh, right at the beginning.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if they're stupid enough to give me the information, then what are you going to do?
Absolutely. Because, I mean, like, there's nothing worse than, like, falling head over heels with someone and then finding out that they've got a psychopath in their chart. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You know, you're doing it for the right
reason. Doing it for their good as well, really, because, you know.
Yeah, no point wasting time on me.
I did say to him, oh, you're a Capricorn Moon. I said, that's the hardest placement for the moon.
You just turned around. Where did you drop that in? Oh,
but he was a Leo as well, so I was like, oh, we could have a bit of a vibe. But then I thought, well, Leos love to be the center of attention, so who's going to be the center of attention? This isn't going to work.
No, Capricorn Moon. I can imagine him being down the pub with his mates going, she said I was a Capricorn Moon. Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't think he's ever been on a date with anyone like me before.
Danielle, I don't think there's anyone like you. No. You are unique.
Yeah, we all are, though. It's so cool.
My hobbies come on board. I'd be interested in getting my chart done and comparing it with Dan's, because it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So it's on Pisces. So
they're opposites.
Do you go with that?
What do you mean by go with that?
You go with them, you know, opposites being.
Yeah, opposites, but that's all right. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's balance right there, isn't it? Because you're two sides of polarity. So yeah, I can't really speak too much about it, but it's interesting. Sparked my interest.
We'll come on for a double booking.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Oh, before Hillary's just put, is that a euphemism? A goat's arse, moon in Capricorn.
I think I just gotta say no to any moon in Capricorn from now on. The thing is, with astrology, I will say, like, because anyone who's watching this got a moon in Capricorn, I'm sorry, but just to bring it back to something professional, I would like to say that there really is nothing good or bad with astrology. You've got what you've got for a reason, and it's about figuring out what the reason is, because actually a Capricorn moon means you're really calm, steadfast. In any crisis, you are, you know, you never falter. You're just like, so that's, you know, those are quite good qualities, really. But they also don't take care of their own emotional needs. They put other people in front of themselves. So, you know, there's pros and cons to all of it. But once you understand it, and if you're willing to do the personal development that's necessary, then nothing's good or bad.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Makes me chuckle about Capricorn Moon, because when I did a video for star signs with crystals, I kind of got a little bit too top heavy with Scorpios, because being a water sign, you know, yes, and my son is a Cancerian, so, you know, big up the massives. And then we get to Scorpio, and it's like, are you here because nobody else wanted you? Why are Scorpios in water? So yeah, I always
Scorpios are the deepest, they're the most emotionally deep sign, and they get a bad rep. A lot of people are scared of Scorpios and intimidated by them, but actually they are magical. And when again, there's like a balanced version of Scorpio and then an unbalanced one. Unbalanced is going to be jealous, manipulative, controlling, and using all their psychic abilities for the wrong reasons. Someone who really embraces their qualities of being a Scorpio is highly intuitive and sees through people, so they see what people are afraid to say, and that can be scary to people because they've got these like deep penetrating eyes that see through you, and a lot of people are like, no, don't look at me, I don't want you to see my secrets, but they do. And so that's a gift, because they make amazing therapists.
Oh.
You know, so yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. I'm learning to love all of the signs, for all of the, because we need all of it. We need a balance of everything. And so, yeah, interesting. Yeah, exactly. I know. I should do like a sideline dating service, shouldn't I? Send me the details, and I'll let you know.
Well, absolutely. You could be. All everyone is just going to be like, Danielle, I like this.
Yay
guy.
or nay? I'll be like, nay. It's not as simple as that, but you know.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I make a lot of I've made a lot of my friendship choices based on signs. Although, like you say, I mean, I do have to, because my wicked stepmother, she's a Scorpio, and also Geminis. I never really had a good intimate relationships with, but I mean, I think Hilary Stanley, I think she's a Gemini, and in the spiritual sense, I love being around Gemini people. So it's interesting. Now,
that's the thing, though, but it could be like a Gemini in the like a Gemini moon, say, in the 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of Pisces, so it's going to have a Pisces flavor to the Gemini. So this is what I'm talking about. And the moon is like, represents our emotions, and is yeah, like, so all of it brings a different, you have to blend all three of things together to get, so no one's ever a typical Gemini. So the Geminis that you're because generally Geminis aren't very spiritual, but there must be a lot of water in their chart for them to connect with their spirituality.
So interesting. So Julie, my dad is a Scorpio and one of the most intuitive people I know. He was spot on at reading people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Pisces are great at reading the energy, like collective energy, collective unconscious, and feeling everything. Cancer are great at like nurturing and mothering and caring. And Scorpios are great at just seeing straight through you. Yeah. You can't lie to Scorpio. They have a very strong lie detector.
Wow.
Which is scary for people, because most people want to lie most of the time because they're trying to be nice, or they don't want to say what they really mean because they don't want to upset people. But Scorpios don't do that.
Yeah. Hilary loves Scorpios. Get on really well with them. Ah, Miss Moody, she's a Gemini, and I love her. And yet Hilary is a Gemini, and I love her. And Debbie is too, and I love her. So yes, you know.
That's it. We can't generalize. Like, if you basically, ultimately, you have to go with how you feel when you've interacted with a person. Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel energized? Do you feel positive? Do you feel supported? Then yeah, that person's for you. Do you feel drained? Do you feel like you can't be yourself around them? Then they're not for you. It doesn't really matter about the astrology in that situation. It's the the relationships where you're constantly coming up against the same conflict or the same problem, that astrology can just shine a light on it and go, this is why this is happening, because you communicate like this and they communicate like that, and you don't understand each other. So you've got to learn how to communicate, or, you know, there's different ways of looking at it.
Absolutely. I suppose it is that thing of once you've been burnt by one, you kind of tarnish the whole
with the same brush, yeah.
And that is it. You know, someone comes in, I'm a Gemini, you're like,
back away.
Where's my bucket of water? Let's drown that bitch. But, you know, I mean, I said it once. We were at an event and I was sitting down and I was like on one. I was like, yeah, then Geminis. I didn't actually realise that the event organiser was around the table was a Gemini.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, oh, yes. And I mean, we are good friends, and then that's what started the turning point of me looking, going, yeah, I really should stop bashing Geminis just because of one person. You know?
Yeah,
give them all a chance. So yeah. And Caroline,
exactly. You've got to kind of know that you'll never meet two people the same, ever.
No. So she's a Gemini, Cancer rising, and lots of water in my sign. Always grizzling.
Grizzling, yeah. Oh, what, crying? Does she mean crying? What does grizzling mean?
Grizzling. Isn't that kind of like, I'm getting like the grizzly bear, you know, like, rrr.
Like grumpy, moody?
Might be.
Water signs can be a bit moody or cry a lot. That's an interesting combination. Aquarius and Cancer.
And they bounce all over the place.
But again, there's so many different factors in that you're never just an Aquarius. There's like, if you've got, you know, because some people have a lot of planets in one section of their chart, which could trump, you know, because I did a reading for a friend and she had you know, she was a Virgo, but when I looked at her chart, she had 5 planets in Libra, so she was more of a Libra, but she didn't even know that. And when I said, do you relate to these qualities, she's like, oh my god, yes. So, you know, and it could be that you've got loads of planets in a particular house, and that house could relate to, you know, relates to a certain sign and a certain element. So, there's so many different ways you need to interpret the chart. These snippets of information doesn't really mean much.
Oh, and come on. Julia said, grizzle to cry.
Oh, there we are, to cry. Yeah, good. Yeah,
And
water
Caroline
needs to
was
flow.
like
You
crying.
need to have a good cry. If you've got a lot of water in your chart, you have to release it. Let it flow. Yeah. 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 Good. Yeah. I cry a lot. I've got a lot of water too. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm crying. I just got to let it out. I just have a cry.
Yeah. And it could be stuff from like, I mean, I find as I'm getting older, I am getting such a sensitive queen. I mean, I can't watch like things on telly. Like, you know, if on Facebook, if I'm scrolling and someone's put up a post about the golden buzzer on Britain's Got Talent, for some reason, when they press that golden buzzer, I'm just like, what is wrong with me?
There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you feel everything, but that's where you need to learn about boundaries. Like putting in boundaries so that you know what's your emotion and what someone else's, because you're probably just tuning into someone else's emotion when you're doing that.
That is true. Yeah.
So you've got to ask yourself and your guide, say, is this mine or is this someone else's? Take it away if it's not mine. And then you won't have to cry everyone else's tears.
That's true. Yes. Yes, because I'm taking so much on. Actually, this is a good one for Charlie, because again, talking about where the signs and what they are in reference, because so many people would always thought that Aquarius was water.
Water, it sounds like a water sign, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's very much an air sign. It's very much an air sign.
So there's no.
It's very intellectual. It's very logical. It's not a feeling sign. It's a detached sign. It's not an emotional sign. So no, I wouldn't say it's water. But again, it depends on what part of the chart that sits in, because there might be some water underneath it. But Aquarius, I would definitely say, is an air sign.
Fantastic. Because that's the most confusing thing, isn't it? When you are looking at things, and then, you know, it's like with Scorpio, you're just thinking, well, there is a water scorpion, but you don't really think of them in the water. You think of them more on land.
Yeah.
With a bit of fire. You don't really link them into that element of water.
Yeah. I've detached it a little bit from the actual symbols and signs. Like I've learned the kind of meanings of them separate to the signs, because the Gemini, the two faces, I don't agree with that analogy of Gemini either. So okay. So yeah, I mean, and again, it's, you know, whatever you feel into as well, it's open to interpretation, and every astrologer's got a different take on it. So what I say is, you know, my personal experience with it and my take on it, but everyone's got yeah, their own little ways of understanding things, haven't they?
Absolutely. Well, you've won Claudia. She's so
there we are. Yay! Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Jan, I'm very empathetic, but very analytical and logical. She's Aquarius.
Yeah, so the logical would be that sounds quite earthy to me, actually. Earth and water, which was not, what did you say you were? Aquarius and Cancer. Oh yeah, the water is the empathy. There must be quite a lot of earth in, yeah. I mean, this is like a needle in a haystack here.
You need to go in and give this lovely lady your details.
Yeah.
Book up and see what's in your chart. Interesting. I have Sun and Moon Cancer, ascending Aquarius.
That's interesting, because that's the thing. Like sometimes, like the Sun, Moon, and Rising are like your core pillars, and so they sit together. And sometimes they'll feel comfortable with each other. Like yours is all water, so they're like, oh, it's watery, it's lovely, like all the things. That feels nice. And some people are a bit more of a mixed bag, because really water and earth go well together. Yeah, water and earth go well together, and fire and air go well together. You think of those elements, they naturally fit well together. But we've got here water with air, you know. Think about water and air. They don't really, how do they? But what that, you know, the high road of that is that you use all of your emotion, but you express it, you can communicate it with the air. So the air is the communication. But the low road of that is that you're detached from your body, so you feel things, but you can't really express it, or you're either one or the other. So, but then it also depends on what else is going on, because that's only one piece of the puzzle.
It is.
I'm wearing red boots. Why? Why was it like wearing lead boots? Like walking in the mud, do you mean? Like slow, yeah, they can be quite resistant to change.
Yeah, I find
very work focused.
I've always liked Capricorn ladies. I always find them very motherly. In my eyes.
Because actually Capricorn is the father of the zodiac.
Oh.
So it's a more masculine energy, but again, it could be your personal experience with it.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, I've always found that, you know, in times of need in the past, Capricorn women have kind of like come over and been like mother hen for me. It's
yeah, they are caretakers, but they do it in a more kind of, not in the Cancer is like the mother, like wants to give you a hug, cook you a nice meal, make you sit on the sofa, put a blanket around you. Whereas a Capricorn is like, what can I do? How can I sort this out? What do you need? Yeah. You know, a bit more practical with their way that they're going to nurture you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I could put myself on the settee and put a blanket around me, and you know,
yeah, because you're water, because you do that naturally.
That is it.
You don't need that. You need someone to sort the shit out.
So that's why I have the Capricorn ladies come and be like, right, here we go. Yeah.
See, we are. That makes sense.
Yes, work focused, determined,
Yeah.
controlling.
Yeah, can be control freaks. But yeah, there's workaholics, yeah. But they're also very ambitious, driven. They are very good at what they do generally and successful.
Absolutely. Any more questions at all, guys? So, anything else that I've got to? I've loved the questions. The questions have been
interesting.
Very interesting. I will, for anybody who is interested in
Dan, I've got a question for you.
For me?
Yeah. I've got a crystal hidden on my person, and I wondered if you could guess what it was. With your intuition.
Oh, God. Is it
Feel into it. No. Tune in. I reckon you could do this.
Oh, I don't know. I'm on the spot here.
I know. I have put you on the spot. I just thought it would be a fun game to play.
What colour is it?
That would give it away.
Oh, would it? Is it dark or light?
Wow, good question. Might be a bit of both. It's an unusual crystal.
So you want me to guess an unusual crystal?
If you got one or the other, I would have given it to you. It's a blend of two.
It's kind of blue.
It's a blend of two.
It's a blend of two. So hematoid and quartz or tourmaline and quartz?
That's it.
Tourmaline and quartz.
Is that hang on, I got it in my bra. Tourmaline?
Yeah, tourmaline and quartz. Yeah.
I wonder if I actually bought this from you, because I bought this in Lupton.
It looks like one of ours.
I did, but I love it because it's got like the grounding and the connection, you know.
That's why hematoid quartz, tourmaline and quartz, I love them. Where you've got the grounding and the clarity in one.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong because your feet are on the ground, your head is in the clouds.
Exactly. So you can do both because you've got to be grounded to be able to connect spiritually, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, everyone else is playing along with that.
Someone, I started a trend now.
Yeah, someone said calcite. Laurie said, "Can we all guess?" Oh, I didn't see these because I was doing the banners. Someone said amethyst. Hilary said,
I've got amethyst next to me, and I've got another crystal this side.
Hilary said, "Are you looking in a bra down?" I wasn't actually. Tara, I don't know why, but rose quartz immediately popped into my head.
Yeah, because there's my rose quartz heart right there. So that was a good guess. Yeah, I love it. See, everyone, we're all more intuitive than we give ourselves credit for, and it's worth just reminding ourselves of that every now and again.
Absolutely. Citrine, murderite. Someone thought blue, like I did when you said both. And someone said labradorite, but Caroline, Dan, what crystal have I got in my bra?
I'm going to put mine back in my bra.
Caroline, I want to say green aventurine.
Ooh.
If not, put it in your bra. You know, Jesus, if anyone's just tuned in, wondering what on earth's going on.
Oh, you're talking about astrology, though.
No, it's not what's in my bra. Oh, right. Before, is there anybody else that would like to ask this lady any questions at all? Her website is down on the bottom there. So if any of you are interested in getting in touch, book an appointment and having a reading, please do. She is amazing, and it's so nice to have you on. I can't believe it's 5 to 8.
I know, that was fun though, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. Can you imagine us doing a workshop?
Yeah, I think we'd have to break it down because I've got like, I'm good because I'm a fire sign. I'm good in short doses and then I burn out. Like I'm like high energy and then I need to retreat and recharge. So we might have to do it like over a course of time, like a period of time instead of in a day. I don't know if I could maintain my energy for a day because I'd totally wipe myself out if I'm honest. But that's what I've learned about myself, like that, and I have to honor that I'm like, I am really good in short doses and then I need to retreat, you know, and that's something that I learned through my astrology chart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sandra, her website is on the screen now. That is where you will find this lovely lady. Dan, women put their crystals in their bra. Where do guys put them? You see, if you tuned in a couple of weeks ago on my live market, we were talking about boxer shorts and what crystals I have in my boxers, and yeah, special pouches in your boxers.
Is that a good place to keep your crystal?
You always see me smiling, sweetheart.
Well, yeah, that's true. You're obviously doing something right.
No, I mean, at night times, I would sleep with a crystal in between my legs to ground me and to work on the base.
Oh, wow.
But I would never carry a crystal around. I mean, God, can you imagine if like you sat on the bus or something, and yeah, the fine line between being fertile and castrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just bought a grounding mat for when I sleep. Have you heard of these?
Oh, yes.
Pretty good, actually. Yeah.
I have heard, and I think I did. I think my mate Karen's got one, and I think I had a go on that, and yeah, that was really nice. Hillary, she wants to know if she can ask you to look at her granddaughter's birth chart.
Yeah, of course. How old is she? Haven't looked at many children's charts, but obviously, you know, charts generally don't get activated until after the age of 21, but you can get some useful insights into children and how to manage their emotions and how to communicate with them. So it would be a different kind of reading, I think, but I could do that.
Yeah. I have a Friday night quiz on Zoom, so I think Shadi wants us to put that into the quiz of what's in my bra.
Yes, there we are.
I'd have to wear a bra. Oh, we don't actually own a bra. I don't know how that's going to work.
Be creative. You'll figure something out.
Yeah. Debbie Adams, great evening, guys. Loving the laughter. Absolutely. Fabulous evening. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
You could do a relay. I don't know what that is about, but I'm moving on. I don't know whether that's about crystals being in pants, or I think that might have been to do with workshops to do a relay. When you're on about
like bouncing off each other. Oh, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, brilliant session. Thank you both. You are welcome, Julie. No, that's true. I don't wear boxers. In fact, I think I've got some on now. Brilliant. Thank you for a great evening. Ouch, in boxer shorts. Do you know how many times, Danny, I have wanted to be like a typical newsreader and not wear anything on the bottom half?
Yeah.
But I'm always scared that like a cat will come in or something, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I know. I was tempted to wear like my pajama bottoms, and like that's the beauty of working from home. Is like you can get away with some comfortable, you know, things on the bottom as long as you look all right on the top.
I think I've been in that position before.
Yeah. Right. It's all about comfort.
It is. Hillary's granddaughter's 15.
15, cool. Yeah, that's a good age because, you know, set her off on the right path, could help with her choices around college and stuff like that. So, yeah, I thought she might have been like really young, like baby or
It
something.
was a very interesting evening. Thank you, Danielle, Dan, and Adam. Thank you. I don't know what
Thank
you
you.
Adam for. He's downstairs, like, I think he's listing the market, actually, so he is doing work, bless him. Thank you. I have a chart printed, but can't make any sense of it. This is the point, and this is why I'm so glad to have you on board who could do that, because they are. I mean, to look at one, you're just like, it's like a spider's web gone wrong.
Yeah. I think they're works of art myself, and I'm like, my eyes light up as soon as I see it. I'm like, oh.
Just away from any Capricorn moons. Thank you both for such a fun evening. I have loved this evening. Thank you to both of you.
Oh yay. Thank you for being here, Emma.
I keep saying this. We could just be up here talking to ourselves. It's you guys coming on here, giving us the information, giving us the questions that makes it a great night. Thank you both for most informative and fun evening. I think I've brought the fun alongside Danielle, and Danielle's definitely brought the informative. Absolutely. Thank you for a great evening. A very good meeting from the Isle of Man, Leslie.
Oh, God, people are dotted around, don't they?
Yeah, they are. This is my first time joining, and I loved it. Very interesting. I shall be returning. Thanks, Dan and Danny. You're welcome, Sandra. Thank you very much. And yes, Dawn's relay comment was
workshop. Yeah. Okay. We'll get that in the pipeline.
Yes, we will. It's been great. Thanks, Danny. We'll be in touch.
Lovely to meet you.
This might be a mad one. Do animals get influenced by their charts? Oh.
Yeah, my cat was born under a Virgo full moon. I think they do, yeah. Yeah, I think animals have souls. Why not? I don't know if they, it's not, it's a good question. I haven't really given it much thought, so I'm not sure. But I would say yeah.
Yeah. I never thought of that. But yeah, I might have to look into my pets. Tara, she's just found her birth chart that a friend gave her many years ago. I have to do some investigating. Well, if you get stuck, book in to see.
Even if this has just sparked your interest, got you like reignited with your passion for astrology, that's what I'm doing. I'm here to just make people learn about themselves, and yeah.
Absolutely. What a funny, informative Eve. Thank you very much. Love.
There we are. Sounds like we made a few people laugh, which is always a good thing.
Isn't it always? I love these. And yeah, I mean, the time is out and
yeah,
we could go on forever.
No, my battery's low now. I need to recharge.
So, Danielle, I'm going to drop you down into the waiting room.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun. Thank you for organising everything and inviting me.
And please, guys, check out her website. If you want to see this face again, she is going to be on the Oasis weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday. So check out on the Oasis event page when this beautiful lady is going to be giving us some information on the elements.
The elements, so yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
We will chat soon. Catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Speak soon, sweetheart.
Lots of love. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So the website is down here. It's here. DanielleCollins.co.uk. www.daniellecollins.co.uk. So please go on and give her a little bit of support. I mean, what an amazing energy that lady has. Really charged my energy for the night. I don't think I'll be going to bed anytime soon. I'll need to get rid of some of that energy. But thank you all so much. I know that you thank us for a fun evening, but like I said back then, it's down to you guys that make this fun. So please just keep having fun, having a great time. Can I just ask what the two crystals you mentioned was, Dan, please? Hematoid quartz and tourmaline quartz, or tourmalated quartz. They were the two ones I mentioned, Anna. So yeah, tomorrow night, it's Thursday again. How has it become Thursday? And so that's our market night. Oh, Jan, there's pictures of me when I was younger wearing bras. In all fairness, right now, I could perhaps do with, I could perhaps fit in a couple of cups. Definitely, I could definitely fit in a bra. So yeah, tomorrow night is Thursday quiz night. I think the photos have been taken, so they should be already listed on our preview page on the events on Dan ROX. And then Friday night, spread the word for the Crystal Quiz Night. It's on Zoom. If you're interested, please go onto our event page on Dan ROX, find the Crystal Quiz on the Friday, and put that you are going. If you put that you are going, we can private message you the link to join us on the quiz. You can have a go, or you could just be part of the audience. Just come along for a bit of fun, a bit of education. Next Wednesday, the special guest is the beautiful Kieran. He came on board on Monday as we collaborated doing card readings. He will be here next Wednesday as our special guest. Okay, so we do have some. Yeah, absolutely, Anna. I will let you know for sure. Okay, all parcels have been posted, so anything that was purchased last Thursday, they have been posted. Sorry for the delay, but we had a pretty hectic weekend with me trying to do my shows for Serenity, and then we had Adam's birthday yesterday, so things slowed down. We got a bit slack at the beginning of the week, but we're back on track. And yeah, if you're on Instagram, join me Friday mornings at 11 o'clock, where I'll be doing live card readings again, and also questions and answers about crystals. If you've got any questions at all about them, jump on board on Instagram at 11 o'clock. And yeah, we'll do some card readings and have a little chinwag. Thank you all so much. Loving the comments. But I'm going to say goodbye. Love you all so much. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. And hopefully see you around at some stage. Thank you for joining us. Good night.